What up, my fellow gamers out there? I was itching for a good RPG lately, and I had decided to take Dragon Quest VIII from my backlog shelf and give it a go. I played this game, I don't know, about 10 years ago, and I not finished it, but I remember it was a quite solid RPG. And now, as I replayed it, I realized that this game is a masterpiece. I'm not using this word too often, but in this case I had to say that this game is just perfect, at least for me. Okay, almost perfect, because of the grinding, but we're gonna get back to that later. So it has a beautiful world, wonderful exploration, great characters, good storytelling, fantastic voice acting, and it's everything what you need in a good RPG. So for me it's 99% perfect, 99% perfect, except of the grinding, but you guys know that I'm not a fan of grinding. So without any further delay, let's jump in and let's see why this game is so good. Imagine this. It's a quiet evening, you sit at the front of your TV, the controller is in your hand, and that soft Dragon Quest VIII main theme starts drifting in. It is not dramatic, not flashy, just epic. That's pretty much the whole vibe of Dragon Quest VIII. A game that doesn't rush you, doesn't confuse you, and doesn't pretend to be anything other than a classic adventure told with a lot of heart. And that's exactly why I love it. Dragon Quest VIII is one of those RPGs that welcomes you the moment you start it. The visuals are cartoonish in the best possible way. Charming bright like a watercolor world you get to walk around in. It literally feels like that you are in a watercolor world, and these graphics and the world perfectly matches the story and the characters. But in the middle of all this color and beauty, there's a story that starts simple, but slowly grows into something bigger and surprisingly emotional. Okay, let's talk about the story. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. What I like in the story is it's not really a unique story. We've seen this happen in JRPGs before, and it's not a really unique one, but it's quite interesting, and it always keeps you on your toes, like what is going to happen next. Also, what I enjoyed is not if something is threw you immediately into the middle of the story, or in a great war or any catastrophic event. It starts quite slowly, basically nowhere. You just start in a forest, you don't even know who your companions are, and it just starts really slow, but as it builds up, it gets very, very interesting. But let's go a bit detail into the story. Dragon Quest VIII begins with a curse, a very dramatic curse, unleashed on the peaceful kingdom of Trodain by a twisted jester named Dormagus. This jester, let me tell you, is no joke. He storms the castle, turns the king into a squat, troll-like creature, transforms the princess into a horse, and freezes the entire courtyard with vines and thorns. What an asshole. As you probably guessed, he is going to be the bad guy who you have to track down. So, after these dark events, the only one who escaped the curse are you, the silent hero, King Trode, who is now, well, let's call him visually challenged, Princess Medea, who is stuck in a horse form, and Yangus, your reformed bandit buddy who follows you around calling you Gov. And with this strange, lovable little group, you set off to track down Dormagus and find a way to restore the kingdom. What I love about the story is how it expands naturally. Each new town, each kingdom, each region has its own smaller tale. Troubled nobles, cursed families, forgotten shrines, ancient battles, and each one connects to the larger mystery behind Dormagus and the ancient world he's meddling with. The game does something clever. It lets you feel like you're on a real journey, and I really mean this. You don't jump around between timelines or shift through confusing lore dumps. You travel, step by step, village by village, across a world that feels lived in and warm. Every place has something personal to share with you. Nothing is rushed, nothing is forced, and because of that, the story slowly wraps itself around you without you even noticing. But of course, what makes that journey special is the cast. First of all, Yangus is a comic relief but also the heart of the party, a big softie who tries to sound tough. His strong British accent is hilarious. We have Jessica. She brings determination in an emotional way to the group. She has one of the most personal motivations in the whole story. And Angelo, he is a charming, irresponsible, robe-wearing troublemaker who pretends he is too cool to care, but he definitely does. And King Road, I can't see anything without spoiling, but the guy grows on you fast. The voice acting does a ton of heavy lifting. It's theatrical, warm, and funny in the exact British fairy tale way this word needs. There's no stoic monotone and in delivery. People sound like people. For me, in an RPG, apart from the story, the characters are also very important. If I can be attached to the characters and I can enjoy their company, if I can say like that, it adds a lot of experience, a lot of gameplay value for me in an RPG. And in Dragon Quest VIII, this has exactly happened. I really enjoyed how the characters are interacting with each other, the jokes, the funny accents, how they are messed with each other, and there was a lot of situations in the story when it really made me laugh. So I really enjoyed the characters and how they interacted with each other and the world. The only letdown is that the main hero who you are playing with is silent. He never makes any comments, or he just gestures, but it's not a major issue for me. It's not even really worth mentioning, but I think if the hero could anyhow more involved with the others and just interact with them with more, it would be a better experience. But don't worry, still very much a good experience. Something Dragon Quest VIII nails better than most games today is exploration. You want to walk around here. You want to take the long road over that hill, because maybe you find a treasure chest under a tree, or a metal slime will pop up and ruin your life, or you get a new view of the castle glowing under the sunset. The world feels handcrafted. And the best part is that you never get lost. The game always gives you a nudge, a line of dialogue, note in the journal, a clear direction, so you're never aimlessly wondering what the designers wanted you to do. This is a huge plus for me. I love exploring. I just don't love being lost. Save points are also placed smartly. You never feel like you are fighting the game just to save your progress. Now we need to talk about one of the most charming mechanics in the entire game, the alchemy pot. It sits in the back of your wagon, bubbling away like some medieval crockpot mystery. Yet here's how it works. You toss in 2 or 3 items, random ingredients, weapons, armor, herbs, whatever you collected, and after a bit of walking around, the pot dings, and boom, you crafted something new. And the game encourages curiosity. Try weird combinations, fuse a weapon with a gem, throw it into identical items just because. Sometimes you get garbage. Sometimes you get something that makes you feel like Albert Einstein with a +1 steel broadsword. It's simple, relaxing, and incredibly satisfying. A tiny experimental sandbox inside a big adventure. And now let's talk about the combat. I'm usually suspicious of JRPG auto battle systems. They are either brain dead or reckless. But Dragon Quest VIII surprised me. Your party members are actually smart. They heal when needed, they save mana points, they don't pick up the dumbest attack possible. It makes battles go fast, which matters because yes, there is grinding. I'm not a big grind enjoyer, but here the pacing is gentle enough that it never felt like a chore. However, I have to say that the level of grinding was just on the level which I can still tolerate. One of the most satisfying parts of Dragon Quest VIII is how you develop your characters through their skill points. Every time you level up, you get a handful of points to drop into different categories: swords, spears, bows, staves, fists, and even character-specific attributes like humanity or charisma, depending on who you are leveling. It's a simple system, but it's flexible in a way that lets you shape your party to match your playstyle. What I really love about this system is that it never pressures you. You don't need to worry about min or maxing. The game never punishes you for following your gut. It just quietly nudges you to play the way you want. For example, the hero is your most versatile character. Gives him sports for high single target damage, or spares if you want access to the legendary Lightning Trust, which turns metal slime hunting into an actual career path. Both routes feel great, and the game never makes you regret either choice. Yangus, he can go for axes for raw damage, clubs for big hits, or humanity to unlock support moves to make him the world's ugliest but most lovable support tank. Nothing says team player like Yangus yelling at the enemies so they hit him instead of your squeezy party members. Jessica, she's dangerous no matter what you choose. Give her whips to hit whole enemy groups at once, daggers for poison focus play, or staves if you want to learn into her magic. Her staff abilities especially shine mid-game. Suddenly she becomes this walking magical nuke. And Angelo is a stylish all-rounder. Both skills give him range utility and great situational damage. Swords let him feel more like a traditional knight. And staves boost his healing, turning him into a smooth-talking medic who looks like he belongs on an RPG magazine cover. And for me the best part is how natural this progression feels. You level, you drop a few points, and over time you watch your team slowly blossom into exactly what you want them to be, without fuss, without complicated trees, without needing a spreadsheet. It's this wonderful balance between simplicity and depth. Just enough customization to make your party feel personal, but never overwhelming. And by the time you are halfway through the game, you look at your party and think, yeah, this is my crew now, this team is mine. And that feeling, that slow, organic growth is one of the many reasons Dragon Quest VIII's adventure feels so intimate and memorable. What keeps Dragon Quest VIII alive today isn't some complicated mechanic or shocking plot twist. It's the atmosphere, just look at what's going on the screen. It's the way the world feels alive without being overwhelming. It's the way the story grows naturally with you. It's the sense of adventure you get from traveling with this odd little family of characters. It's the music, the landscapes, the cozy pace, the little jokes, the heartfelt moments. This game feels like sitting next to a fireplace and listening to a good story. A long one, yes, but a good and warm one. And now, I'm going to answer the question, is Dragon Quest VIII worth playing? I don't think so. I really had to answer this question, but yes, it's very much worth it. If you love RPGs, this is a must play. Even if you played it before, it's worth revisiting. As I mentioned, I played it 10 years ago and I still had fun with this game, even if I knew some parts of the story, but I really enjoyed it. It's a beautifully crafted RPG with great storytelling, good characters, and the world itself and the exploring is just genuinely fun. It's definitely worth playing. Thanks for joining me on this trip back to the golden age of gaming. If you love unearthing forgotten classics or even the disasters, we got plenty more adventures ahead. So press start and subscribe to join the quest. The algorithm has dug up a couple of more relics for you. They are right here on the screen waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Backlog Quest video.